Allow me to begin with a revelation. I take a lot of abuse in my videos. 'Tis true! If it can be punctured, broken, shattered, divided, teleported, mutilated, or otherwise inconvenienced, I have experienced it. My life has flashed before my eyes so often that I could write a Cliff Notes version. And I am proud, I tell you. Proud to have taken beatings from the main cast. Proud to have survived the slings and arrows of my collaborators. Proud to give the middle feather to Darwinism. But there's one species from whom I shall never suffer a beating. Yaks. They may be speciesist of me, but I am drawing a line in the sand, O Prince. Not one yak may harm my feathery features. Do so at your own peril. Yak smash! Contrary to popular belief, I have my pride. Right off the bat, I want to object to a common criticism for this episode. Twilight does participate here. Seeing as how I criticized the princesses for a lack of activity last time, it's only fair to point this out. Twilight gathers the main six, coordinates interaction with a species long out of touch with Equestria, and takes point on acting as a host.
Equestria and Yakyakistan haven't opened their borders for hundreds of moons. In fact, Yakyakistan is so far north of the Crystal Mountains, no pony's even been there.
Wait, if no pony has ever been there, how do you have any research on their food, their dwellings, and their culture? I am going to assume that some pony took very good notes back in the day, and that some pony was Starswirl the Bearded, because it's always Starswirl the Bearded. Only problem is that the yaks are a one-note trick.
If things not perfect, yaks get mad.
Oh wow, that was fast. This joke was old before it started. This is the first act. In fact, this is the yaks in a nutshell. You offer them food?
Yaks destroy!
Show them cute animals.
Yaks smash!
Host an election year?
Yaks destroy!
Okay, 1 out of 3.
They're different, that's all.
I'm sorry, but no. In these PC times, we're encouraged to accept cultural differences, but there's a point where one has to call stop. These yaks are destroying homes and endangering lives, not out of any deep offense, but for the crime of hospitality. This is the classic trope of putting the ass in ambassador, and because all grievances lie on the yaks, it makes the whole situation pretty one-sided. Why would anyone want to be friends with these guys? But wait, there's a line from season 4 that comes to mind.
Abandoning his true nature to make friends with weak-minded equines who offer him nothing.
Yes, if one only judges another's value by what they have to offer, isn't that the opposite of true friendship? So there is a certain nobility in the pony's desire to unconditionally offer goodwill.
Let's get out there and make some new friends.
All right!
But in their zeal, I think the ponies aren't looking after their own well-being. Truth is, there are times where you need to let go of making a friendship because it's quickly becoming one-sided. These yaks seem like they'd be a harmful relationship. But this is friendship is magic. And this isn't the only time this season they've dodged the idea that not all friendships are mutually beneficial. Now that sums up my thoughts on all the yaks except one. But let's not forget that this show is about ponies! And one dragon. Which means it's time for a good old face-off! Princess Twilight, show us your best face. Ooh, a serious contender with a variety of fearful expressions. But Pinkie Pie's no slouch when it comes to looks. Behold that muscle control. Fluttershy, trying to make an entry, but let's face it, this is down to 2 mares. And I honestly can't tell which is the more stressed, but I enjoyed both. Now, Twilight and stress aren't a new revelation, but it is nice to see her using Cadence's breathing technique. Continuity! But wait, again. At the start of season 4, I said I was glad she wasn't using a calming exhale. So what gives? Well, in games ponies play, Cadence's technique completely eliminated Twilight's stress. In essence, it shut down part of her personality. As someone who enjoys how these characters' strengths and weaknesses are intertwined, this seemed like a loss. Here, Twilight uses the technique to rein in her stress, but never eliminates it. That's finding a nice balance. Now, Pinkie Pie and stress, that's a rare sight indeed. It doesn't help that Twilight's resting all her hopes on Pinkie's party, while the yaks continue to be awful representatives.
Even Fluttershy made them mad! Fluttershy!
Truly, they are a species on the brink of madness. So with some inspiration from Gummy, Pinkie decides it's time for a road trip. If memory serves, this was the episode's most criticized element. The big thing is that a lot of Pinkie's journey doesn't make much sense.
Did we go the wrong way?
Well, considering that Dodge Junction is down nya, and the Crystal Empire and Yakyakistan are up nya, then yes! Yes, you are! Pinkie's journey takes up the whole of the afternoon and crams several episodes worth of events. She meets up with Cherry Jubilee and nearly ends up getting thrown off a cliff, only to be saved by the Wonderbolts. Then it's off to Manhattan when Pinkie does one of the best pop culture parodies in the show. Many a viewer wonders, how could she do all this in such a small time frame?
It was a major adventure that took most of the afternoon.
Normally I raise an eyebrow at this since there's a limit to how much I'm willing to accept. In fact, if this were any pony but Pinkie, I'd probably object. The rules, however, change when Pinkie Pie's involved. Storytelling is a dialogue, even if we're not always aware. When Pinkie randomly teleports, when she manages to defy physics and summon random objects and basically rewrite the world around her, that's the show asking you to accept that she operates by a different set of rules. I can accept this based on how Pinkie acts. In past episodes, she seemed oblivious to what's happening around her. In this episode, she reacts with fear where appropriate, but never loses her characteristic enthusiasm. She's in tune enough with the world so that her cartoonishness enhances her reactions rather than breaking the story. So when I wonder how she can do so much in one afternoon, I can fall back on the most classic rhetoric.
Just repeat to yourself, it's just a show. I should really just relax.
At the same time, this episode is asking us to take this seriously.
We declare war!
I should not be hungry for war. But seriously, I want to see these guys get decimated. It would be the most satisfying spectacle. It's a lovely day here on the Borderlands. The 3rd Armored Battalion of Yakyakistan is in full battle garb. Some nice use of mounted ballistics there. And representing Equestria is Princess Celestia. I'm told Princess Luna offered her services, but Celestia replied, "Relax, I've got this." It looks like the Yakyakistanians are making the first move. And now it appears that they have exhausted their ammunition. I believe that makes it Celestia's turn. And there you have it. The 3rd Armored Battalion is now the 1st Spaceborne Battalion, and Equestria claims another victory. Praise the sun, and long live the ponies. Back with Pinkie, she's finally made it to the edge of the Crystal Empire and given Cadence a reason to enjoy 3 episode cameos in a row.
No pony who's attempted this climb has ever returned.
Oh, well, not to put too fine a point on this princess, but why are you sending her alone? I am running out of ways to say this. I know Cadence can be a great leader, so when will she actually start leading? Just send a few guards to keep an eye on one of your friends as she faces whatever that is. But we do reach a bright spot. For the gates of Yakyakistan are within view, but more importantly, there's this little one. I mean, look at him, her, not sure, but really don't care. It's so cute, just so friendly. Goes right up to the gates and gestures, "Come on in." Oh, why couldn't this little one be the ambassador? Truly, the hope for Yakyakistan lies in the young. I should not laugh at her misfortune, but I'm gonna. In Pinkie's darkest moment, we find out the hidden secret. She's Batmare.
Pinkie Pie has a secret party planning cave? How cool is this?
This party cave, which I'm not sure how it ties into Sugar Cube Corner's architecture, it sums up everything wonderful about Pinkie. This episode gets Pinkie. She seems random and unfocused on the surface, but underneath it all is a desire to make others happy. And she devotes so much time and energy into considering each person's tastes.
But she's afraid of quesadillas.
No, I'm not.
They're just so cheesy.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just marking that for future reference. There is a method to Pinkie's actions, even if it's not immediately apparent. The best Pinkie Pie episodes understand this. The ones that don't fly usually treat her as weird for the sake of weirdness.
The trip was really hard, but every pony I met along the way was so helpful.
Actually, considering the various near-death experiences versus the helpful ponies, I think we broke even here. But it's not the destination that matters. It's the journey. Pinkie Pie gains an insight that enables her to win the yaks back over.
So, do we walk back up the slide or what?
Flutter dry!
We shouldn't try to make Equestria feel like your home. We should try to make you feel at home in Equestria.
And what happened next? Well, in Ponyville, they say, the prince's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Ponies and yaks? Friends?
For 1,000 moons?
For 1,000 moons!
So Pinkie saves the day. And Twilight?
Just doing my best to spread friendship.
I know that Celestia sees what's what. I know that Twilight's motivations through all this were altruistic. But it would have meant a lot if she had been the one to share the credit with Pinkie. By not doing that, I feel like Twilight is failing to follow her own advice.
One of the most important things a princess can do is realize when she's made a mistake and fix it.
So at the end of this wild ride, what can I say? It's a review of 2 storylines. On the yak side of things, I find that once again I'm not eager to learn more about the new locale, much like with Griffinstone. Though perhaps that's unfair. What I really don't want to see is more of Prince Rutherford. Thinking on both Griffinstone and Yakyakistan, the show has demonstrated 2 races that can learn a lot from the ponies, but don't seem to give much back. Gilda's redemption and the Little Yak offer a ray of hope for both, but it's not enough to make me want to see the larger population. It seems like Equestria is too flawless while the rest of the world is too flawed. There's no sense of mutual exchange. Especially you, your travesty. Let's just say that as a representative, you were not perfect.
Yaks destroy!
Whoa there, muchacho. Don't you believe in measured responses? Trampoline-based emergencies, huh? I can dig it. And you, Pinkie, you were a delight this episode. Everything done to show Pinkie in a new light hit a positive chord for me. Her concern, her stress, her efforts, her journey, and her secrets. She made this episode fun and lighthearted. Although I do think you can work on your planning skills. For example, you could have just messaged Cadence to send some pony to Yakyakistan and magically mail you the gifts. Haha! The halfway mark! I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching. Okay, we can either get him down or see how long he bounces before tossing his cookies. I vote the latter.